Good morning. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Let me know. I don't know how the music is loud, but I'm not going to say anything, even though I'm the only one in here. I'm the only person here. Yes, you are first, but I don't know how loud the music is. Um, yeah. Well, that's not the point of the conversation. All right. And that's good. And I'm treating myself. Good. So maybe the mic is isolating my voice, and that's great, but that's neither here nor there, whatever. Um, so, listen, before I get started into this, I want to talk about something that happened yesterday. It was like 4:30. My wife goes, "Do you know where Union Mall is?" And I go, "Yeah, I think I know where it is. It's over by Central Lot Prow." And she goes, "Yeah, I kind of want to go there." And I go, "Well, when?" She goes, "Today." And I go, "It's 4:30. What do you want to go there now for? Take us, half hour, 45 minutes to get there." Wow, this cappuccino is kind of cold, but it has been sitting for a little bit. But maybe I'll get an espresso in a little bit. Anyway, so we go to Union Mall. It's 5 o'clock, and I go, "Are we going to go? Yes or no?" We ended up going. So the reason she wanted to go was there was a luxury bag. Is that what it was? Let me see. Luxury bag. Yeah, luxury bag sale at Union Mall. Apparently, this is for Thais and also Chinese and other nationalities, but it's a big shopping event. Now, they say everything is authentic, but it's almost all secondhand stuff. And I was like, what are we going here for? And she goes, "Oh, I want to go downstairs. There's food. There's all kinds of stuff." We get here and she goes, "Here it is right here." And I go, what are you talking about?" I go, "What's this?" I go, "I don't want to go in here." And she goes, No, this is where we're going." I go, so they're like, "Do you have this? Do you have that on you? What do you have?" They go, "Oh, you can't wear your sunglasses in there." Because I had my sunglasses on top of my head. I didn't even think that I had them on. And she's got her glasses on, and they go, No, you can't bring your glasses in. You have to put everything in a bag, and then we keep your bag. And I'm like, "This is for shopping?" And I'm like, "They're not getting my phone." And she goes, "No, you have to put your phone in a plastic bag because you're not allowed to use your phone when you go in." And I'm like, "Why can I not use my phone when I go in? Everybody else, in the mall is using their phone." They give you a little entrance pass. Not only that, but you have to register to get in. Now I'm like, register? I got to register for this sale to go in? I'm like, I don't want to do it. So I put in like Joe Smith. I put in Joe Smith, and I put in a fake email address. And all they have to do is sound like, look at your phone and see that you have registered. So I go, "Oh yeah, I registered." Now, none of the information was correct. My wife, of course, gives them all her information. I go, "Now you're going to be getting emails all the time. You got to give them your email address, your name, your nationality." So we go in, and it's nothing but bags just laying around, like on tables. There's bags, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, names I've never even heard, some names I've never even heard of. And she's like, "Oh, that one's a big one." Then there's stuff all over they have these they have these, good morning, they have these like bookcases, and they've got all the bags sitting up there. And I noticed I was like 699,000 baht. I'm like, you ain't buying one of these bags. She's like, no, I don't want that one. I go, no, there's no way you're gonna get that one. So she's looking around, and she's like her top is probably 70, 80,000. She's looking at it, and she goes, well, that one's really nice. And I go, yeah, it's 80,000 baht. I go, it's not worth it. I go, what are you thinking? She's like, yeah, I know. I go, 80,000 baht, I mean, I go, you're crazy. Now, she has a Coach bag. Coach is supposedly a brand name, but it's not like the brand name of all brand names. And I hate this air of mystery that they have. I mean, these are all supposed, it says right there, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. These are authentic items. If they're not authentic, you can bring them and get your money back. But I have read, and I read afterwards, that although they say that, it doesn't mean that they'll give you a trade or something, and they'll go, oh yeah, this one's authentic. And you're like, well, how do I know? And you got to really know your stuff, and you got to know what to look for. And you have the phone in the bag. You cannot bring the bag out while you're inside. When you're inside of the place, you can't bring your phone out. They'll kick you out. And they got CCTV. They got all kinds of stuff there. And so you can't search on the internet to see, okay, what are the flaws in this bag that you look for when you're looking for a counterfeit bag. Now, they had said, oh yeah, you're gonna save like 90% in this sale. I'm going, this bag is $1,500. This bag is $2,000. How is this 90% off? I'm like, you're out of your mind. She's like, I'm not spending that kind of money. So she saw a bag that was like 15,000. I go, oh, well, that's not too bad. I go, but it's still 15 grand. You better damn sure. She's got all kinds of bags, and most of them are under 1,000 baht. She doesn't spend money. She's not that kind of a person. But she thought, oh, I'm going to get a deal. And she told me, she goes, what is this? She goes, I thought I'm getting a deal here. Now they're speaking, there's a pretty girl, and she is speaking in English and Thai, and of course, she's speaking in Chinese. And I'm like, and there's these Chinese walking around, and I'm like, oh my God, they're catering to the Chinese. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get these Chinese to buy. Then the Chinese leave and they go back to China. Maybe they find out, they don't find out, they got a fake bag, whatever. I'm like, this is BS, and I'm like, all right, listen, you're taking me out for coffee because of this. I'm not doing this for nothing. We're gonna have to go out for coffee. And finally she goes, yeah, you know what? We got to get out of here. So we which, I was proud of her because she was looking around. She goes, oh, this is nice, that's nice. Then she goes, but you know what? If I want to get something, I don't want 5% off. I want to go to the store and maybe get 20% off. And that's what she did at Coach. We went in to Coach, and they had a sale. It was like a 3-day sale, and you got like 25 or 30% off. And she bought like 3 items, and she saved it was like 45% she got off, because she saved 50% on one, like on a wallet, and then she saved money on this and that. But what struck me is there were some Indian ladies, and they were large women, and they were throwing around the bags. I mean, it was an experience. I was standing there like plop, 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 throwing these bags everywhere. And I'm like, man, they have no respect. They must know something. They must know these are fake. But they're just throwing them around. They didn't care. They had no respect for, whether they're real or not. I was like, listen, I'm not going to be throwing the bags. I just pick the bag up, look at it, and put it down. You don't have to throw it. And the security was tight. There were guys standing there, and they're like this, looking at everybody. And I'm like kind of thinking to myself, oh my God, I know this is big business. But like, do I look like the kind of guy that really gives a shit about a bag? I don't really care. And she didn't really care, Her Coach bag, it's sitting now. She bought it like 5 years ago. And she's got like 10 bags. And she they have to be useful. And she puts her laptop, she's got a little laptop, and she puts it in her bag. And some of the bags she wants are not big enough. So she's got to make sure that they're big enough and all that kind of stuff. But eventually we got out of there. I'm walking out the door, and security goes, hey, hey, hey. And I go, I was like, man, I was like ready to hit him. He like puts his hand in front of me, and I looked at him and I went like this, and I was like, what are you doing? He goes, oh, let me pat you down. I go, man, get the fuck away from me, you know? And I just walked out the door. He was like, look, I gotta pat you down. And I was like, no, you don't. Look at me. I was wearing a pair of shorts. I didn't have anything in my pockets. I got flip-flops on, and I got a shirt. And I'm like, what are you patting me down for? What do you think? You think I got a bag strapped to my chest? Ugh. So we got out of there. I got my coffee, and I was happy. But, you know, it was just... Anyway. So right now, the exchange rate, 32.89. That'll change tomorrow because tomorrow's Monday. Once Monday hits and everything opens, it'll be less. The air quality is 76. The temperature in Celsius, 29 right now. 34 is the high, 28 is low. 32 is the feel like. In Fahrenheit, it's 83 degrees right now, which is kind of nice, but it's going to get to 94, a low of 82, and the feel like is right now is 89. Humidity is 77%, and the forecast is hot, and sweet and sticky. And next week, the temperatures are supposed to come close to hitting 100, to be like 99 degrees, maybe 100 degrees. So it's going to be hot, which, I mean, it's overcast right now. It's not that bad. So, all righty. Let me see here. What are these comments that we got here? Well, I always say you have to know what's real and what's not. So why not? I mean, you might as well go to the manufacturer. And that's, I mean, you know, like I just bought a pair of Asics shoes the other day. I went in the mall. They didn't have anything to choose from. I'm like, their choices are limited. So I went online. I was like, okay, where's the best place for me to go for Asics? They sell them right online on the Asics website. I'm like, okay, I buy them. I got like 15% off. Then they gave me a little bit more off. I got a pair of like shoes that were like 5,400 baht for like 3,700 baht. And I was like, you know what, I'll take it. And I didn't have to worry about them being fake. No, I don't care about, listen, I don't care about the brand names. The only reason I care about brand names is, I mean, I had an Omega watch. I didn't really care, oh my God, I've got an Omega. I wanted it because it was a James Bond watch. That was it. Making me appreciate my wife much for hearing about this brand name handbag hunting. Well, she was hunting because it was 90% off, and my wife, she loves a good sale. And she doesn't go out like, oh, I've got to go shopping today. I'm going to go shopping today, and she's always shopping. She doesn't do that. The most she does is go down to the local market and buy some vegetables, and that's about it. Let's see. April was always hot and humid. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? You can't do anything about it. You really can't. Let's see here. All right, so let's talk about this here. 5,000 bucks in the U.S. versus 2,000 bucks in Thailand. You get the same lifestyle pretty much, and it's a different life. Asics store in Ginza has a machine to stand on, and they customize which shoes to buy. Well, that's nice. We were just talking yesterday, my wife and I, because I told her, I said, you know, she's like, now we got chickens, we got to get some ducks, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. She goes, you know, let's do it. And I said, okay, that's fine. I'm not opposed to it. I said, but I don't want to live there. I don't want to live on the farm. I just don't. I want to live by the ocean. And she's like, okay, that's fine. She wants to make me happy. I told her she's stressing me out with her cats. So we're thinking about in the south somewhere, and I'm not going to say where it is, but the water's got to be fairly good, and we'll stay there part-time, stay here part-time, and then right now, where was I going to say this? Let's see. Well, we'll get to that later. Anyway, if you don't know who I am, my name is Scott, and I'm an American who's been living here for over 30 years, almost 32 years. And like with this live stream, I'll be talking about Thailand. I also talk about places in Southeast Asia and other destinations. If you like this content, you like the videos, click like. If you haven't subscribed, do me a favor, subscribe. If you need a consultation, just email me at americaninbangkok@gmail.com. But let us get into this here. Where am I? Now, if you're spending $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 a month in the U.S., are you stressed out? Are you watching every dollar? Do you have to really watch your money? Do you feel like you're working all the time and you're not really getting ahead? Which I would say that when I first came over here, I was making $10,000 to $12,000 a month, but I was stressed. I was stressed because I was working for myself. I had one lady working for me. And the customers, they were always calling me, is my job done? I said, no, your job will be done in 3 days. You know, it's been 12 hours, you know, that kind of thing. So I was a little bit stressed. But there's a lot of people, they don't want to admit it, but you come here for $2,000, $3,000, you can live as good or better as people living in the United States for, say, $5,000, $6,000. Especially if you live somewhere like New York or LA, something like that. I gotta finish this. I'm not talking about, you know, you live in Podunk, Wisconsin, and then you're living in Bangkok. I'm not talking about you live in New York City and you're living in Chayapum. Shout out to Jim. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about apples and apples. But really, a guy here who's got $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month can live here better than someone who's spending, say, $5,000 in the U.S. Not cheaper, but better. And I'm not talking about some guy, oh, he comes here and all he does is sit in a room and he eats mama noodles and he doesn't do anything with his life. He just goes out every day and gets his groceries and comes home. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, you can live for dirt cheap if that's what you're doing, if that's what you want to do. That's not really living, though. And, you know, I'm not trying to compare that. Agreed, $120,000 Dallas Fort Worth is equal to 25, 35. Well, I don't know about if that much, but I'm just going to say that for maybe double or triple what you live off here, you can live, or there, you can a third of what you, or half of what you're living off there, you can live very, very well here. And just retired, drop US like a bad habit. So far, so good in Bangkok. Well, that's good to hear. There's another guy that, and he got a consultation with me, and I guess he's here now, and he wrote yesterday in a comment that he was paying 40,000 baht for an apartment. Now, 40,000 baht for an apartment in Thailand, for a Thai person, that's a lot. Okay, that's a Thai person who's fairly well off. For a foreigner, you figure that's about 1,300 bucks. And that's not huge if you compare it to, say, San Francisco, New York, LA, Miami. I mean, some of these places are costing $5,000, $10,000 a month. So you compare it to there, okay, and this is in Bangkok, that's a great price. But what I'll say is, listen, I live in a place right now, and it's a townhouse. It's 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and it's 7,000 baht a month. And the house that we lived in before, we paid 6,000 baht. Now, granted, we don't have the equity, we don't have the house, okay. But you figure, if you don't have the money to pay cash for a house, you're gonna pay anywhere from, I know a guy who was paying about 25,000 a month, and it was a small house, but okay, let's say 20,000 a month. 20,000 to say, you're paying to say 50,000 a month, okay? So now let's say that we were paying 37,000. That means we're saving 30,000 a month living where we live. We put that into our, and that's, we put that into our savings. We sock that away. That's just on top of what we would be paying for a house. I tell my wife, listen, I don't want to be tied down here. However, we are looking at a place, and it's relatively inexpensive. It's about, what did I say it was? Let me see here. I need to take a look at this because I don't remember. It's 3.7 million. It's about 114,000. It's 3 stories, 4 bedroom, 3 bath. And it's a townhouse, but we should be able to rent that out. And it's a nice place. So I don't know, I don't know if we'll get that place. My wife is always looking at places and talking about things. I just tell her, when you're ready, let me know. Until then, I don't want to see it. All right, now I'm done. Man, that was good. But in the U.S., $2,000 to $3,000 is like, if you're making that, that's average, and you're probably struggling. Say 3,000 to 5,000 is like, that's like to have like a semi-normal life in a place that isn't New York City. You're living in the heart of New York. When you get up to 5,000 to 10,000, then maybe you can start to breathe a little bit, depending on where you live. Now, if you're living in Thailand, you don't need 10,000, but you're going to live really great if you got that much. You're going to live quite a bit better than what you live in the United States. Even at $3,000 in the United States, you're not living great. I don't know that I'd be able to support my entire family. I mean, my wife works now, but she works because she wants to. And she was talking about it, and she goes, oh, I think that retirement age, I'm not sure when it is. I think it's 65. And I go, no, it's 60. She goes, now I got to wait until I'm 60. I go, you don't have to wait until you're 60. And they give her like 8,000 to 10,000. The government would give her like 8,000 to 10,000 plus all the money she got and we got, and her retirement fund and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, well, this is good. We can live good. We don't have to worry about it. You need to relax. You're not going to be working for another 20 years. But in the U.S., you got to pay, obviously, just like here. You got to pay the first and last month. You got to pay utilities, HOA fees, repair fees, parking costs. And if you really want to live somewhere in Thailand, listen, my wife is really good at finding places. The last place we had was nice. It was, it wasn't a new home. It was just a regular old home. was nice on the inside. It was great. We had it fixed up. We had a gate. We just opened the gate to get in. 6,000 baht a month. That's less than $200. I'm like, for $200, it's like, I just throw this away. And if I want to go live somewhere else, it's like, okay, I'm paying $200 for this. Maybe I'm paying $350 somewhere else, $400 somewhere else. And then it's like, okay, well, I'm paying for two places, and I got all this. In Thailand, $400 to $600, you can find a solid place. $700 to $1,200 is quite comfortable, and more than $1,500 US is, I mean, you're living in luxury. You're not suffocating off of that. So you got to think about it. Here, hey, if I spent, I don't now, but if I spent 30% of my income, if I spent 30% of my income on the house fee, whatever it costs for the house, I wouldn't be worried. But 30% in the US, I'm worried, okay? Let me read these here. What's the size of the country for that? For the average Thailand, dude, you're saying the average Thai. I always love it when people say, oh my God, Thailand is so expensive for the Thais. It depends on where they're living. A lot of the Thais in the city are making good money. How are they all driving cars, affording 150, 200 baht drinks, 500 baht meals? It's because they have some money. Some of them are they tend to make more than the people in the rural areas who can be quite poor. But some guy the other day said to me, oh yeah, Thailand's got a problem with the food. They've got food shortages. And I go, they don't have any food shortage. There's no food shortage here. None. There is no food shortage here. A very, very, very almost zero people ever starve in Thailand. You probably cannot say that in America, okay? Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in this. I've lived in a studio apartment here. I don't want to live in a studio apartment because it's claustrophobic. Me personally, now at my age, I'm claustrophobic. I don't want to stay in one little room. I like to be, listen, in my house, I go walk upstairs, I go out on the patio, I go in the back, I come downstairs, you know. 40K for an apartment, that's a lot in Bangkok. Well, I don't know, I guess it depends on how much you got. If you got $6,000 a month, it's not a big deal because the rest of what you're spending is not that much. I live in Vancouver, under 2,500, although I am single. The biggest savings is cooking at home. It's more healthy, I agree. 26 a month net. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. $2,600 a month net. Met a new foreign neighbor in Khon Kaen. Renting a neighbor costs 55,000 baht per month. To me, that's a waste. Oh, the neighborhood is good, believe me. And the house, it's a little worn down now. But I mean, it's not like, first of all, we love the house now because we've lived there for like, I don't know, 11 years, 10 years. We've lived there a long time. And you know, that house has grown on us. And if we were to buy the house down the street, we're gonna still rent this house and let the kids live there. You know, but I mean, it's a fairly nice house. You know, I mean, it's not great, but like for that money, I don't want to go anywhere else. I should rent my place out, would cover my rent, but I want that heading. Well, you got to get somebody to manage it. Expat food is gonna, where are you, Robert? Where are you? Expat food is already expensive, buddy. I hate to tell you that. Bought a house here in Montana for 21 and it's 4 bedroom, 3 bedrooms. The mortgage alone is $2,300 a month. Yeah, I live in a townhouse. And I don't hear the neighbors. One neighbor is separated. We are the only people on the block or in the village, at least on the straight soy, that have a yard next to our house, which we're starting to garden. I'm starting to do that because I figure it's a little bit of exercise. I might as well do it. I have my own yard, and that's fine. And yes, we have our own yard at our farm, and it's like 5 acres. I don't know exactly how much it is, 5 or 6 acres. I don't know how many rye, but it's fairly large. And now we have all kinds of stuff, and the sister is running the place, and we know if we really wanted, we could go down there. We could just live down there. It wouldn't be any problem. We could live down there for a lot less than what we're living off here. And I'll tell you what, we do think about it because of COVID that happened. Now we got the war, and of course, we don't just let anybody come in and just we have there's an extended family, and they help out. Everybody gets a little cut, and that's fine. Well, this is the thing. Right now, the fuel prices have not affected me. Although, what I will say is we had planned to go to Florida this month or next month. And now, first of all, we decided not to go because the tickets, it was $6,000 for 4 tickets. And I go, we got to be able to get better prices than that. $4,000, okay. $4,500, $4,800, okay, I understand. But $6,000, I was like, nah, I don't think so. If anybody's going to go, it's going to be me. I'm going to go alone. So now with the war happening, this is before the war. Now with the war happening, I look at the airports and I go, why do I want to go now? There's no way do I want to go now. Thanks there, LCTR fan. Thank you. Have you been pumping iron and lifting weights? Well, I was. I'm not now because I got sick and then I stopped, and all I've been doing is walking and doing things like push-ups and whatever else I can do. I got some straps, some what do you call it? Those bands. I got the bands because my shoulder's still bad. But I can tell you. I saw Dorian Yates talking about how he doesn't do squats because he had an injury, and he goes, "Yeah, I was pushing like 1,500 pounds on the leg machine," and I was like, Jesus Christ, I did 660. And I figure it'll help keep me busy, and it keeps me thinking, which is important. I don't want to. I've been thinking about longevity now. It's not about what a badass you are and how you can, how big you are and all that kind of stuff. It's about how long you make it. I think your wife probably enjoys working. Yeah, well, listen, if I'm going to the beach, she'll go with me. There's none of that. And I told her, I said, listen, let's build a bungalow in the back. That way we have our own place where we go, and anybody else can have the house. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We just have a little bungalow, like a little one-bedroom bungalow. And, well, it's not. I don't think it's necessarily the muscle mass. I think it's the strength. And the amount of protein you get needs to be relatively high. And I weigh 94 kilos. So I multiply that times 1.5 to 2. And sometimes I'm getting 220 grams of protein a day. Now I'm starting to cut it back, but I try to make sure I get plenty of protein every day. I was supposed to go to Thailand from Florida 3 weeks ago. Trip got canceled. It got canceled because of the war or because of what? And my wife likes to work. I told my wife, you stop working at your job now, you're not going to know what to do with yourself. And then you're going to be stuck with me. And the kids are not going to want to be around forever. You know, now it's like Alex is taking advantage of a good situation, which, you know, I understand. He's socking that money away, baby. I want him to be, you know, when I die, I want him to be well off and earning money. He doesn't have to worry about it. That's how I want both of them. Now, whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I mean, the war's affected people. And it really hasn't affected me here all that much, although maybe some of the food prices have gone up a little bit. But a lot of the food prices are stable. And I just went shopping yesterday and I bought a bunch of beans and like dried beans and stuff like that. They were pretty inexpensive. I made some minestrone soup yesterday. Jono, I did it. I made some minestrone soup and it was enough for 3, 4, 5, maybe 7 or 8 servings. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that is something that I struggle with a little bit. But let's get back to the to this comparing where we live, and you know, in the U.S. for a lot of people, the housing cost is what kind of controls their life, and here it supports your life. So if you think about what is the percentage of your salary, of your income that you're paying, how much is it? How much is too much? Are you paying 40%? Are you paying 50%? Or are you paying 20%? I mean, you know, we're paying, I mean, $7,000. It's probably, I don't know. I'm not even going to say, but it's very low. And if you look at here and I think, oh, well, are the prices really going up? Yeah, I mean, especially in the foreigner neighborhoods, in the foreigner areas where they can get the money. Listen, I know a lot of places, they're raising their prices. They've gone up 50%, 100%. They're doubling their prices because they can, because the foreigner will pay. And maybe that's not a good thing in the long run for Thailand, but I don't think that, you know, people are like, oh my God, they're screwing up, they're ruining everything, they're making it harder. How are they making it harder? They're making it more difficult for tourists to stay here for, say, a year at a time, 3 years at a time. Running in and out of the country, coming in, you know, 8 times a year for a month at a time. How are they making it more difficult? It's not that difficult. Put a little money in the bank, you can stay for 6 months without any problem. What do you need to stay for more than 6 months if you're not living here? There's certain other Chinese women buying property in Thailand. Well, I know about Schwab and everything. You can get that with, what is it, SGov? You can get that easily. You can get 5%. And, I mean, to make that? No. I don't really want to do that. Now, you know, I got no idea. I got no idea who the guy in the thumbnail is. I don't know. If you don't know, I don't know. That's what I'll say. Is it 4%? Okay. I just saw it was 5%. It's going up to 5%, but I don't know. You know, it kind of wavers sometimes. But yeah, it's at 4% most of the time. And that's what you need. You need at least 4%. And that's just ready cash. Yeah, honestly, to be honest, we live off of quite a bit more than that, but we got 4 people. And I was telling somebody, I said, listen, if I spend 36,000 baht on food, which I don't, but between me and my wife, we probably do even more. But let's say 36,000. That's 9,000 baht a person. That's 300 baht a day. Now, 300 baht a day, that is pretty much everything a person can eat. Now, I know if you go back to the States, you're probably not going to get that kind of a deal. You're eating for $10 a day and you're eating fabulously. You know, if my kid wants to go make a sandwich, he goes to the refrigerator, boom, he gets the sandwich meat, he makes, you know, whatever he wants. If he wants some bread and a piece of cheese, he goes and gets a bread and a piece of cheese. If he wants to make some Thai food, he tells us, okay. And I go, well, we got this, and you make some Thai food. If he wants to make an omelet, he makes an omelet. I mean, you know, whatever we want, we have. But still, you got to figure, if those kids were out, we'd probably save 15,000 baht. Not that I want them to leave, but I'm just saying. So, and in the United States, I don't think, you know, the groceries are ridiculously expensive. Restaurants are expensive. Delivery is expensive. You deliver something, they expect a 20% tip. Here, you don't give them a tip, they don't get pissed off. You know. So, okay, 250. But you know, you're one person, and I don't know how you eat. I don't know how big you are. I don't know any of that. It depends. I know people who are spending 500 a month on food, you know. So it really depends. And this is the thing. There is no one price that's going to, everybody can go, oh yeah, that's it. That's the price for me. No, the price, it fluctuates depending on what your lifestyle needs are. And, you know, but I'm just saying on the whole, for $5,000 in the United States, you could live for that 2,000 here, and you're going to be doing quite well. You go out and you eat out twice a week. That's probably at least 100, maybe 200 bucks, right? It's going to cost you. And in Thailand, you got street food, you got the little restaurants that are, say, $5, $6. You go in the mall, you eat somewhere at like a restaurant, not like in the food court. And then you got Western food, and you can control your spending on what you want. If I wanted, I could spend, for just me, I could probably spend 6,000 baht a month, and I don't want to do that. I'm not big, but I do eat plenty, far less than you likely eat, though. I'm not eating much steak. Well, I don't eat steak very often, and I eat twice a day. But I eat a lot of Greek yogurt. I eat a lot of vegetables. Here in San Francisco, state of California is in debt, must save to gain flexibility. Yeah, I wouldn't live in California if you paid me. I used to live there, and I wouldn't go back. And my friend lives there, and he's got a place in Ecuador, and he doesn't want to live there, but he's got some things that he has to take care of before he makes the move to be in Ecuador 100%. But he wants to move to Ecuador, and that's the thing. So eventually he will. I don't know if I can get myself I can pay with I don't know if they're going to let me pay with a credit card, with an ATM card. Hang on, let me go see. Hang on 1 second.ใช้บัตรได้ไหมไม่ได้เหรอโอเคก็ QR เท่านั้นโอเค Oh well. Afterwards, I guess. Okay, so let me get back into this here. Listen, when I was there, it was very safe. I don't know about now, but it's as safe as you want it to be. It depends on where you put yourself. And he's in a very safe village, very mellow, little surfing village. It's pretty cool, and I like it. But the trap is, and this goes back to the guy who said it's 40,000 baht for an apartment. And I understand the reason to spend that. Jono's apartment is around that much, and it's a nice place. I say it's a little bit small, but it fits him, and he's comfortable, and that's what's important. Are you comfortable? That's the only thing you got to worry about. Are you comfortable, and does it meet your needs financially? But most people try to recreate their U.S. life here, and you can't really do that and expect to spend all that much less, because a lot of things are the same price. You want to buy wine here, if you buy a good wine, it's probably going to cost you a lot more than it's going to cost in the United States. Imported food, Western everything is going to cost you, and you can't complain. If you come here and that's what you do all the time, I don't complain, because fortunately, most of the time we have the money for it. I don't go out and buy a bottle of wine for 1,500 baht if I go, oh God, I don't have much money right now. I guess I better not spend any money on wine. Now, if I'm flush and I go, okay, I got some money, if we really want the wine, we'll get the wine. But I don't do that I don't do that very often at all. It's like buying a bottle of booze. I mean, I don't drink, so wine, yeah, once in a while I will, but Thailand is cheap if you would just adapt and you learn the little tricks, right? If I wanted, I could have taken the SkyTrain, but I was running a little bit late. I was waiting for a grab. They didn't have any grabs. I'm like, oh my God, I was gonna take a Saver motorcycle. Didn't have any Saver motorcycles. I go to the regular price. It's only like 12 baht more. And immediately I got a ride. But I was getting ready to get on the SkyTrain, but I thought, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get there by 9 o'clock. But when I go back, the SkyTrain's right here. It's right in front of me. I'll go up, I'll walk on, I got my card, boom, I got money on my card. I go through, take me right to the mall. I gotta get 2 things from the grocery, which I don't remember right now. I just remember I gotta get 2 things. And so, I'm saving money. I don't have to pay maintenance on a car. You can save if you figure out what you want to save on. And that's all. So I always like to hear how much people are spending in the US on their groceries. And, Robert said he spends 250 bucks a week. But what about everybody else? I want to know what everybody else is. Those people who maybe they got kids. A lot of people now, it seems like I'm attracting more retirees. So their kids are out of the house. And would you eat more if it was cheap? Because you can go out and eat a good meal. I went out to, what was it, Fam Time? I think it was Fam Time. It was like 270 baht for the meal. It was a Western meal. It was chicken and pumpkin puree and a salad and a drink. And it was 270 baht. So that's like, what, $8? And I'm like, you know what? I don't go out very often. But I just felt like going out, so I went out. In budgeting for retiring there, I have a separate line item for bourbon. Oh my God. And how much are you allotting for bourbon? How much do you pay for transportation per month? No, not a week. I spend 250. Yeah, that's what I mean, 250 a month. I didn't mean a week. How much do I pay? Well, for me, I'm not traveling all the time anymore. I don't include my trip money. When I go on a trip, the minimum I usually spend is 15,000, 20,000 when I go on a trip. Otherwise, it's not worth it. But for transportation here, probably, well, I know already. It's between 2,500 and 3,500 baht a month. That's it. That's not much. That's like $100 a month. $100 a month to me is like, that's nothing. 150 a week, so 600 a month. That's about, 19,500 baht. And you could eat quite well on that here. You wouldn't want for anything. You could have money left over if you want, for one person. Once you got stocked up, you got stuff like if you wanted toilet paper, toothbrush, toothpaste, and all that kind of stuff, razors. Yeah, so that's 500 baht a month. That's nothing. Now, I don't want to drive here. I don't want to drive in Bangkok. There's no way, because I know me. First of all, I like to drive fast. I don't like to drive slow. If I want to get somewhere, I want to get there when I want to, as fast as I want to. But that's not really the point. I can slow down, but I don't want to drive here because it's just too risky. I don't want to have to be alert all the time because you know what? A lot of times I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm bored and I just start falling asleep. And I can picture myself at the wheel of a car falling asleep. That could happen. I don't think, listen, cooking Thai food for yourself at home is not desperate. I can tell you that right now, because it's going to cost you, and it's just a matter of what are you making. If you're making stuff with crab in it, it's going to cost more than anything else. I go and buy shrimp. I get it from the grocery because I don't feel like going down to the market. I get it from the grocery. It might be 200 baht. That's 500 grams. My wife goes and gets 2 kilos for 200 baht. Hello, Houston. I only spend about $25 a month in gas for my truck, but like $50 a month in insurance. Well, yeah, I think you're a bit of an anomaly to use medical insurance. I use medical insurance. It's not from America. It's Thai medical insurance and international medical insurance. So, and that's something else. If you're smart, what you do is you just put away some money so that if you got something small, and I'm talking about small, I'm talking about $1,000, $2,000, you can just pay it. You got the money, you pay it, it's no big deal. I'm not talking about you got to go in for a, heart surgery or something like that. You better have insurance. All right, let me continue here. I get a little off track. Coffee culture, yeah. I mean, I talk about how much I spent on coffee. This month I've spent about 250 bucks just on coffee. I don't really eat out much. But the cost of health insurance is going to depend on you, man, and your age and your health and what kind of health insurance you want. And I mean, it might cost you 50 bucks, or it might cost you, it could cost you 500 bucks depending on how old you are. Thailand would cost me more than I live on the States, but I have no debt and own my own home and property with very low property tax and carry no home. So why are you considering Thailand then if you like it so much there? I always wonder that. Because, I look at my parents and, they want to visit, but they don't want to live here. And my mother told me, when we first retired, we were thinking about retiring somewhere. But they wouldn't have retired here. They would have retired somewhere else, like Costa Rica, or they went, the Bahamas or somewhere like that. They want to retire somewhere where if you got enough money, most people who have like really good money, I'm talking about let's say somebody has 15, 20,000 a month. Now that's more than a lot of people have. That's how I'll put it. I won't say it's great, but it's very good. You have that kind of money, you can live anywhere. If you want to live somewhere else, you can live somewhere else. You don't have to live in Thailand. Oh, I'm going to watch the cost of living because I don't want to spend any money. No, you can spend $10,000 a month and you still got 5 or 10,000 left over. You don't even have to touch. So 40 to 60 a week in gas, 100 a month on auto insurance. Wow. 40 to 60 a week. So let's say that's 240. So let's just say 200 a month on gas, 100 on insurance, 300. You got a car payment? Yeah, I don't want to live in Chiang Mai and I don't want to live in Pai. Neither one of those do I want to live in. I don't want to live in Chiang Mai, not because I don't like it, but because of the burning season, which is the reason that most people don't want to live there. And Pai, well, I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to live anywhere near Pai. I don't want to live anywhere near there. And yes, money goes farther there. It goes farther in the rural areas, which is what I said in the beginning. And you can, I know people, they go, oh, I'm looking to live in Chiang Mai. And I go, okay, well, are you going to live in the city? Well, not really. And then I'm just like, listen, it really depends, you go there and maybe you get away from when the burning season starts, you get away and you go stay somewhere else. But that's an additional cost, right? You're going to save money living there, yes, but you're going to spend more if you want to leave. And you're going to spend more a lot of times to get out of there and go somewhere else instead of flying directly out of Chiang Mai. I mean, maybe you can, maybe it is cheaper depending on where you go, but it might be more expensive. So a small click-through? What's a small click-through? 100 baht a week. I don't know what a click-through is. What is a click-through? Tell me. Enlighten me. Click is a bike name. Never heard of it. Oh, a Honda Click. Okay. If you told me that, I might... Yeah. Yeah, okay. Heading to Pattaya in about 10 days to scope out a place to retire in that area. Hanging it up in December. Can't wait. I'm curious to know why you're picking Pattaya. Is it for the women? Is it for the ease of getting around? Or what is it? Because I wouldn't live there if you paid me, honestly. But that's me. And I've been there many, many, many times. And I just don't want to live there. Well, okay. I want to move to this little durian and fish farm in Suratani. I bet you do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. For me, I don't see it. But okay, for other people, I understand. They might want to live there. Good for them. Whatever makes you happy. And yes, you can save some money. Food's a little cheaper there. No, I don't have a problem driving in the south. Now, it depends, There's some places that are pretty dangerous in the south, but I don't generally have to drive in those places. But if I had to, I would, but I'd drive carefully. And this is something that people, some people think about, and they should think about, and that's healthcare. In Thailand, if you got some money, you can walk in, you pay, you get treated right away. The small treatments are, some of listen, I've been into places and they go, that'll be 50 baht. And it's like, 50 baht? Yeah, it's only 50 baht. Oh, okay. Because maybe they're getting subsidized. There's a little clinic down the street from our house. Nicholas goes there, he pays 20 baht. He gets a shot once in a while. He has to get a shot. He gets a shot, it's 20 baht. Checkups, dental, all that kind of stuff is cheaper than it is in the United States. And in the United States, the thing you got to think about is the delays. And, here you kind of deal with it, but the delays are not that long, I can tell you. I've been in private hospitals, Bumrungrad, Bangkok Hospital, Waitani, and others. And I don't think I've ever waited more than maybe an hour. And that's it. Sometimes convenience beats isolation, even if it sucks at times, but don't feel like taking a place, then a bus, then a boat is tiring. Well, that I understand. But Bangsare. Spending over $1,500 a month for groceries for me and my girlfriend. There you go. But that's including all expensive ingredients, USDA prime steaks multiple times a week. Okay, so you don't have to spend that, but you do. Why not Koh Samui? Koh Samui? Are you out of your mind? Seriously. I wouldn't live in Koh Samui now. It's a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong. And the problem with it, first of all, is that it's overrun with tourists. And even if you get away, you're always going to be viewed as a tourist. I mean, I come here now and people, these people here, they're all working here. I've been here longer than all of them have been alive. Easily 6 months, 6,000 a month just for me, just for life. Samui's on the list. I'm a diver and I've been there a couple times. Just want to look around, slow travel time. Well, that's the right thing to do. I will say that. I think there's better places to dive. No, I understand that. And listen, I know my places that I like, and I've talked about them before. But for me, I don't want to live. One thing that I don't want is I don't want to live somewhere like Hua Hin, even Chumphon. I like Chumphon. I like it. But man, I went to the beach. I got sand fleas. The beaches are not that clear. And I just thought the city was there were some places where I go, oh, this is really cool. But a lot of places I was like, I don't know. I didn't get that. I wouldn't live in Hua Hin. I've been to Hua Hin 30 years ago, and the difference now and then, I compare them and I go, I can't do it. Even Prachuap, I wouldn't go to Prachuap. I've gone to Prachuap many times. I would go there again for a visit per se, but I wouldn't go there to live. It's too busy. There's too many people. And I know I can live outside of where the people are, but then that means I'm going to have to travel in. And that's the trade-off. You got to kind of be in between where all the people are and where there are no people. And that way you have fairly good access to a hospital, to shopping, groceries. And that's been the trouble. But we have found a couple of places, and we have to look at them. But they're all in the south pretty much. Because I don't want to live anywhere where there's no ocean. Kanome. Listen, I like Kanome, but I don't like the ocean. I don't like the ocean there. That's what I'm going to say. It's definitely more quiet than Pattaya and Koh Samui. And yeah, there is a place, I can't remember the name of it. It's not Takuapa. I don't think it's that. I forget the name of the place. It's like south of Hua Hin, and it's a pretty good place. But I wouldn't live in Hua Hin in the city. There's no way. I wouldn't live there. Listen, I've talked about this. And this is now, it's been about 3.5 years. And I went there with Billy and Bob. And what I remember is thinking to myself, oh my God, there's so much traffic here compared to the past. There's enough traffic where you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm gonna have to wait a little, I'm gonna have to wait for a little bit. And it just was, I'd walk down the street and they'd have a price in, whatever, German and English. And I was like, this place is set up now for tourists. It didn't used to be that. So, it's not for me anymore. It used to be. I really liked Hua Hin back in the day. And I liked Prachuap and I liked Cha'am. But not anymore. And yeah, Robert, have you been to Kanome? Jesus Christ, man. The thing, Robert, that I don't know, are you ever going to come here? That's my question for you. I really would like to know that. What do you think your chances of coming here are? Percentage-wise. 50%? 75%? 25%? Honestly, better than Canom is Sichuan. Yeah, but are you coming to live or are you coming to visit? There's a big difference. There you go. Thank you. That's about right. I would say that's about right. 0%. If you're happy where you are, I wouldn't leave. I mean, honestly. Because where someone is happy, it doesn't, actually, the location doesn't really matter. People say that it does. Well, it does here because once you move here, things are so much different. Okay, you either adapt and go, wow, oh, I like this. Wow, this is great. Oh, well, I don't know if I like this, but you adapt to it. And then you go, all right, I like living here, which that's what happened to me. Or you just go, I hate this place. All right. Now, I mean, let me ask you this. Have you ever avoided going to the doctor because you didn't have the money in America or you didn't have insurance? And, the price of insurance for older people especially is quite a bit. And if you're American, something else, you don't escape the taxes. Now, granted, some people find ways to do it, but there are ways to reduce your taxes and structure your income. And in Thailand, if you're here over 180 days, you're supposed to be a tax resident. You are a tax resident, and they are increasing their enforcement. But there are other issues like, they can't tax Social Security. Well, then how are they going to tax you? Well, they won't. That's the thing. Probably not going to if you're not bringing in a shitload of money. If you're getting $2,000 a month from Social Security and you're bringing in $12,000, well, they might tax you. But you're not going to escape the taxes in the long run. You just kind of lower your burden. Who knows if I'm leaving the States for 100% for sure. I'm just going to move around. Vietnam, Cambodia, Bali, Thailand. So you're not going to live in one place. You're going to move around and see the places, and then maybe you'll go back home. That's what it sounds like to me. And if you like any of the places enough, what I would say is you will probably like Vietnam. Most people go to Vietnam, they go to the coasts. They go right on the coast, or they go to the islands or something like that. And they like it. But then when you want to live there long term, things get a little more difficult. And that's something that a lot of people don't really think about. Bali's overrun with tourists. It's very, very nice. I will say that. But I mean, there's a ton of Australians there. There's all kinds of people there. I loved Bali. I really loved Bali. I wouldn't live in Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry. I just won't live there. No offense, but still got insurance just in case. I had to get a catastrophic only insurance policy this year because everything else was so expensive. It's still worth $350 a month with like a $19,000 deductible. Wow. If anything grabs me, and I'm pretty sure something will grab me, I really don't want to go back to the States. Yeah. Well, I mean, Bali's a nice place. It is a nice place. And I like Indonesians. And that is a place, I don't think I would live there full time. But I mean, now the number, when I first came here, there was a lot of places that I thought about. Bali was one of them. I actually was considering Indonesia. And then I chose Thailand. Now, my choices have narrowed. I would have lived in Portugal 2-3 years ago. I would have lived in Ecuador a few years ago. I won't live there now. I just don't want to. And I think it's just too much of a move for me. I have no idea, but it's similar. It is very similar. And the other thing you have to remember, generally, for most people, the taxes are not crushing them. It's everything else that is crushing them. And You need to think about what percentage is going to your housing, what percentage is going to your taxes. I met a guy yesterday, and I met this guy a year ago, and then I was sitting down in a little coffee shop, and I saw his wife, and I remembered her face, but I didn't really remember. And she goes, "Hey, we saw you last year." And I go, "Oh, yeah." And then he came up, and I go, "Oh, yeah, now I remember." I remembered he was a British guy and his Thai wife. They've been married for like 20 years. And he was telling me, he goes, "Man, they're taxing me to death." And he said, he goes, "I'm retired." He goes, "And I still work." He goes, "But anytime I work, I go, it has to be under the table or I won't work." Because he doesn't want to be taxed. And he's like, "I'm going to sell my house. They're going to take 23% of whatever I earn on the house." He's like, "And then I got to take the money out of the country." And he's like, he's like, "I'm sick and tired of this. There's too much." And then with everything else going on in the UK, he just doesn't want to deal with it. So, you have to think about those things. What is this? They have good internet in Pattaya. Beach sucks. Water quality is nasty. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't live there. I just wouldn't. Why would I live at a beach where I don't want to go swimming? Because the water is too shitty. Because I don't personally. It's just me. But and I hate to say this, but I've been here a long time. I didn't come here to be around foreigners and to like base myself amongst foreigners. I like having a circle of friends. But I didn't come here for foreigners. I came here to live a different life. And I do live a different life. I live a different life than most people could ever dream of. They don't live the same way I do. And now I see the people and they're all, hanging out together. "Oh, let's go out to breakfast and have our breakfast and do this and do that." I don't want to do that. But most of it, I'm like, "Listen, I'll meet somebody like once a week and we'll go have a coffee. Twice a week we'll have a coffee." Okay, fine. I don't want to hang out with them all the time, though. Like, "Hey, you're my buddy, man. Let's keep our little community tight." I got a community, and so I don't need that. And I don't need to hear all the bullshit that goes. I don't need to hear about, "Well, Trump's this, Trump's that. Oh my God, can you believe what they're doing? Oh, what about this? What about that? Oh my God, I don't want to hear it." A guy wrote me the other day. He goes, "Oh yeah, you see what America's doing? What your buddy Trump is doing? I can't believe this, and everybody hates you." And I was like, "Dude, I don't have nothing to do with this shit. I don't care." I mean, do I care? Of course I care a little bit, but when it comes down to it, no, I got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, I got a family, that's one thing. I have a family, so, but I have a handful of friends. And, and that's good enough for me. I have maybe 5 friends that live here. Maybe 2 Thai friends, right? Well, I don't know. It depends. If you include like the girls that my wife hangs out with, once in a while I go out with them and then I hang out with them. I mean, I got a little bit more than that, but it is what it is. And people wonder, why do we get married? Oh my God, it's a losing proposition. Okay, I get it for you. If it's a losing proposition, good for you. But my life is better. And I can't say that my life was bad before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fine. To each his own, and that's the bottom line. And that's to each his own when it comes to your money. Listen, if you're living off of, $300,000 a month, or $300,000 a month, $300,000 a year. If you're living off that in Phoenix, Arizona, and you're like, you love your life, why would you move to Thailand? Maybe you're the adventurous type, and that was me. I was making money, but man, I'm telling you, I was sitting by the pool with a cordless phone, taking orders, sitting on my computer a couple hours a day doing work, telling my girl, okay, go here, go there, do this, do that. And I still was stressed out. I was like, oh my God, these people won't let up and they're on me and blah, 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 blah. And I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was just, timelines, deadlines. And I'm like, this sucks. I was like, how old was I? 31. And I'm like, do I want to be doing this for the rest of my life? And I'm like, I'm going to hate this. I'm going to end up hating it, even though I was making more money than I'd ever made. And I said, no dice, man. I got to figure a way out. And I got out. Well, I'm always at Pacamara. Not always, but I'm there sometimes. You can let me know when you're out and about, and if I'm around, then, If you live the high life and have a taste for finer cars and wines, Thailand won't be all that cheap. Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I like nice things. Don't get me wrong. But I'm wearing the same shirt. I bought this shirt like 5 years ago. I'm wearing the same shirt. I worked in printing. I was a broker. Working 40 hours a dream, 40 hours a week job in USA is a dream life. Most humans throughout history would give anything for such a life. Not me. I wouldn't. And I'll tell you why. And I know this does not apply to everybody, because I look at some doctors and lawyers and accountants and people who they genuinely love their job. And if you love your job, well then it's not really going to work, even though it is work. There's a reason why they call it work. I liked my job, but I didn't love it. I didn't love it because I didn't like all the people giving me shit. They would, well, I really could use it early, and I would appreciate it. And then 2 hours later, are you gonna get it done? Are you gonna get it done? And I was like, dude, I told you I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I will call you when I know. And you don't want to be a jerk because they're your customer. And then after a while, I was just like, this sucks, man. And I was constantly juggling. Oh, I got to get this one done. Oh, well, that lady just called me. Oh, and it was a headache. And I'm thinking to myself, there's got to be a better way. And then when I came to Thailand to visit, and it took a couple of times, and I remember the distinct time when I said, I can live here. And that was, I was going down, I believe it was the Ma Ping, from like Chiang Rai to I don't know where it was, but it was somewhere in the Golden Triangle. Because I remember it was my trip throughout the Golden Triangle. I went on that trip, and I went down the river, and I'm sitting there, and I thought to myself, look at all these people living, and they're living for dirt cheap, man. I mean, at the time they were living off maybe 5,000-10,000 baht a month, and I'm like, if they can live off of that much, I should be able to live off of $1,000 pretty easily. I thought 500, maybe I get a place for $500. I don't have any bills, it's just food. So I thought $1,000, I could live okay. Little did I know, but I started figuring it out and started looking at it, and the next thing I know, I was like, okay, I'm moving over here. Now, what I will say is that I've heard this a lot. Let's say you're 25 years old. All right, let's put away some money, stash a little bit of money. But when you're 30, 35 years old, you got money. You got options. And if you got a skill, hopefully that is a portable skill, you're able to move around. And for me, I couldn't print here. I couldn't even really, if I had thought about it, I might have been able to carry that job with me and do printing back in the US while I was living here. Hire 2 people and, just check it. Every day I'd make a phone call and check on everything, tell them what to do. The money would come to my bank account. I would pay for everything. I could have done it, but there were the internet back then was dial-up modems. You know, sometimes you had to send a fax, you had to call on the phone, so it wasn't the same time. And I wouldn't want to do it now because it's much different. The printing industry is much different now than it was, say, 35 years ago. Everything was offset back then, pretty much. Digital was just starting to come into the picture. But, you know, I was 32. And if you think about it, you're working, a lot of people are working their whole life, and they may work in 2 or 3 companies, they may work in 1 company, they may work in 10 companies. They work their whole life, and they're 55, 65 years old, and they're contemplating retiring. They want to retire. And maybe they're like, oh, I just don't have enough. I just don't have enough. And at 67, they decide, okay, that's it, I'm retiring. They retire, and then what they realize is they don't have the same energy. They haven't, maybe they have enough energy and desire to do things for another 3 to 5 years. And then they're like, okay, so I'm at home now. And that's their life. And for me, I came here at a young age, and I was able to do a lot of things. I traveled around the world. I worked as a photojournalist. I worked as a writer. I worked as in boxing. I did all kinds of things. And I lived a life that, I've lived my life. I've lived a life, a very good life. I sold T-shirts. I did things like that. And I've told this story before. I met a guy once before I went to go work in Alaska, when I ran out of money here and I had to go back, and I was like, how am I going to make money quick? What can I do? I got to make some money. I can't be saving $300 a month and trying to get over to Thailand, and that's going to suck. And I rented a room from somebody, and then I met this guy, and he was telling me, oh, you can go on to this boat in Alaska. And then when I was on the boat in Alaska, on the second tour, I met this guy. We almost threw down. We were going to fight each other. I don't even remember why. And he turned out to be a nice guy. And he started telling me about working on the internet and using the web and front page and this. Then when I came back and I was getting ready to set everything up, and I was going to Thailand, I met a guy, and he was married to a Chinese girl, and he was selling T-shirts in like New York on the boardwalk. He was making bank. He told me, he goes, I got $100,000 put away to buy more shirts, but I get them from China. So then he had married this Chinese girl, and the Chinese girl took all his money out of his bank account, and he tried to sue her and all this other shit, and then he just left China, and he goes, I gave up, and he goes, I have to start all over again now. So, let's see here. I told you the U.S. dollar gets stronger with the war. U.S. dollar, blah, blah, blah. Yes, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Just wait, oil is strong, this dollar is strong. It's not going to stay that way for long. Had a friend in Bali that made a fortune printing T-shirts, had contracts with Quicksilver and other surf brands. Yeah, I mean, you can make it that way. He used to make his own things up. He'd come up with designs and stuff like that, and he just sold them on the boardwalk. And he sold them for, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 bucks each or something. And he would get them for he'd get the shirt for like $1.50, and he would have the printing done, and it might cost him $4. So he made money. Yeah, I mean, I used to use front page, and I got quite good at it, and that's how I started making money. And from there it was, you just learn. But that's the thing about Thailand, is you get a little breathing room. In the United States, you may never get the breathing room that you so need. Some people, listen, imagine if somebody goes, listen, I'm going to give you $50,000. You got to do something with it so that you start your life and you are in a good way. You pay all your bills off for 3 months, you got money left over, you start a little business, you start a grind, you start making money, and then you start stashing money from the money that you made, and you're ahead. Okay, great. That works. But that doesn't happen to many people. They don't get that opportunity. If you come to Thailand, Yeah, maybe you have an opportunity to do that. And maybe if you've been smart with your money up to say you're 35 or 40, you might have $500,000 sitting in the bank. And if you're smart, you go, oh, listen, I can work for this guy 2 days a week and make $1,000 a week, and I still have the money in the bank. And a lot of people do that. That's why these digital nomads, that's why they're able to do what they do, and that's why Thailand is kind of tightening things up. You get breathing room, you get options, you get flexibility. All right, what is this? Internet marketing and sold diet pills to America. Americans, Jesus. 50,000 might buy you a car these days, maybe. Why would you buy a car with $50,000? Idiotic to do that, to buy a car now. That would be stupid. You want to do something, you buy a beater, and then you spend the money on something else if you have to have that. Anyway, where are we now? I can't even see anymore. My eyes are so bad. I need some extra, I need some new glasses so I can see better. Okay. The thing about America too is a lot of people are socially isolated. But if you're undisciplined and lazy and you are the type who likes to be isolated, then Thailand is not for you. It can be worse than it is in the United States. But in the United States, there are a lot of people who they suffer from loneliness. And that's something they think they're going to come here. And then, they tend to meet the girls that they meet first, which tend to be from cafes, restaurants, bars. They think the girl that's working in, Mama Ching's boom boom house is the same as all the other girls, and they're not. And then maybe they get taken advantage of and they go, oh, what's going on here? And maybe that's all they have time to do. They just go, well, I'm going to go out until I figure out what I'm going to do. And then they meet some girl, and that girl is not good for them. She's not a smart chick. She may be streetwise, but she's not the kind who's going to be able to navigate through life without any problems, So maybe if you change your location, it can help you and fix your problems. Maybe. It really depends on you and where you choose to go. And that's the reason why, if you decide, I'm going to go live in Surin, and you've never been to Thailand, you're going to live in some little village in Surin, you're not going to know what the hell to do. But if you come over here and, you spend, say, a month in Bangkok, you start to learn how things are. You come back again, you spend, a couple of weeks here, maybe a couple of weeks in Surin where your girl lives or whatever. Then you start to see what it's like. Then maybe you can make the transition. And there's a lower cost, which that helps, and it gives you that breathing room. But that's real life, man. That's, it's not just some fantasy. And that's the thing that a lot of guys don't realize is this is not a fantasy. This is real life, man. What is this guy on about? You learn Thai? Of course. Where's this? That's what you pick up, Spaceman. Where did you pick up the boom boom house? Ban boom boom. Oh. To you nai. I will put a big long, I don't know about this shit. I don't want to talk about this. Of course I learned Thai. I can read Thai. I can write a little bit, but I haven't pushed myself on that. I need to start doing that. And I've got a book out. I need to start pushing myself to write better Thai, because I can only write real basic words. But what happens, you start to remember things. I mean, like I can look at this right here. It says Borikan Hong Pak. Above the 3,200, it says Borikan Hong Pak. 3,200 Duin. So 3,200 a month. 50 meters. I don't know, can you see that? Where is that? Yeah, right here. Yeah. The sign off to the right up there where the guy was smoking a cigarette, but above him. That's pretty cheap, 3,200 a month. Probably get the suite there for like 5,000 a month. You get the best place in the building. Might not be bad, but you know. Anyway, let's move on here. Just remember one thing, you know, cheap sometimes means cheap. And expensive doesn't always mean better. Now, as some people have noted, Thailand is not cheap. It isn't cheap like it used to be. It is a better value if you do it right. In the US, you pay more and you feel the pressure. In Thailand, you pay less and you still have options. But you still have to build a life here. And, you know, listen, I'm not giving myself credit. I give my wife the credit. I look at the stuff that we have, and it's some of it, she's pushed me to get some of the stuff. You know, I mean, listen, she pushed me a long time ago. She goes, we got to have furniture. I don't want to rent furniture. It's not good. Bah, 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 bah. And I went, okay, you know, fine, I'll get some furniture. So, you know, I went out and bought a sofa, you know, and a couple of chairs, and I bought a table. I mean, the sofa, I don't know, the sofa was like $1,500. The table was, I don't know, $1,000, something like that. It was a couple $1,000. So I went and got this stuff. Now we still have this stuff, and it's getting old. But you know, I got this. We needed a bed. I got a bed. Now we have a full house, full of stuff. I was gonna say shit, but it's not shit. I mean, you know, I got too many books. I got too many cameras. I got too many of this, too many of that. She's got too many clothes, too many shoes, you know. And the kids got their own shit, you know. It's crazy. So you build a life. And if you're a single guy and you're living in a little room and all you got is a studio apartment, well, you ain't got that much, you know. Now, if you have a whole life that you live every day and you don't need much, you just come back and you crash out, you take a shower, you grab your clothes, you get dressed, you go out, boom, you're gone for 12 hours out of the day. Okay, whatever works. Yes, Sid and Nancy is around. Scott dreams in Thai and thinks in Thai sometimes. I don't really dream that much anymore. I was thinking about that. And I have dreamed in Thai, but I don't dream that. I can't remember the last time I had a dream. But I do think in Thai sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know how to say it in English. I'm trying to think of the word in English, but I remember in Thai because I'm constantly saying that word in Thai. But, you know, my Thai is all right. That's what I say. Is it Phuket? What is it? Is Sid and Nancy around? Yes. I mean, I've been here 32 years. Almost 32 years. You know, I want to be able to talk to people. I like to have conversations with people sometimes. I had a conversation with a motorcycle driver coming over here because his motorbike was electric. He paid 87,000 baht for the bike. He can go 220 kilometers each time. He said he went to Chonburi and back on the thing. He said he charges it every 2 days. It costs him 40 baht. And he loved it. And it was so quiet, which is what I like about it. I like quiet. I like peace, which I had to tell my wife. And that's why I said to her, we got to find a place near the ocean where we just get up. I don't care if I'm renting the place and it's a 500 baht a night place. And I go, listen, if you give it to me for 300 baht a night, I'll pay for, 3 months or something. I don't care. But I want to have that to where I just get up and I go, oh yeah, this is so nice. And we kind of need to be here because not necessarily because of her job, but yes, because of her job a little bit, but also because Nicholas is trying to finish up school. And, I don't want to leave him alone. And, Alex works here. So, Bali was like that. Phuket. We're not in Phuket now. No. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking, but no, we're not in Phuket now. We're in Bangkok. I've been in Phuket many times, and now I don't really want to go back there. I don't need to go back there. Well, that's all I want. I just want peace, man. I can get that in Suratani, and I can go down to the water, but it's like, so I don't want to say it's a lake. It's like a canal with a lake, and it's all right, but I'm not going swimming there. It's not like the kind of place where I wake up and go, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I've lived in Phuket before. I lived in Patong, and it wasn't very quiet, and I didn't like that aspect of it very much. Yeah, I've been to Chiang Mai many times. Many, many, many times. Have you been there? Do you like it? I like Chiang Mai. I just don't want to live there because of the burning season. That's the only thing. I mean, I like that it's cheaper, it's nice, it's beautiful, and there is no beach, which is another strike against it. So, so my question is, okay, Robert answered this. What's he spending and all that kind of thing in Montana? But if you compare what you're spending in the United States now, and then compare what you would be spending in Thailand, what would be the difference in your cost to live the same way? Now, I'm not talking about upgrading yourself here or downgrading yourself here. I'm saying the same level of standard of lifestyle. Go ahead and tell me in the chat. That would be good if you could. And if you want, you can email me. Like I said, an American in Bangkok at gmail.com. You need a one-on-one consultation. I also have a book available. It's the links down below in the description. You need a description of the prescription. But at the end of the day, it's not about Thailand versus the US. It's about what kind of life you really want and whether you're willing to do what you need to come here, to stay here, to adapt here, and something that I'm going to be talking about later, and that's to integrate here. You need to integrate yourself a little bit. Listen, if you don't speak a word of Thai, to me, that's kind of idiotic. If you can't say hello, goodbye, thank you, how much, I mean, basic Thai, you can't do that, why are you here? What did you come here for? You really think you're going to form a great connection with a woman and you don't even understand her culture at all, one bit? All she understands is, you're giving me money. Thank you. Okay. Now I'll sleep with you. If that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. So to me, if you compare the lifestyles, there's no comparison. I mean, whether I go to Surat, whether I'm staying here in Bangkok, whether I'm in Khao Lak, whether I'm in Phang Nga, whether I'm wherever I am, Koh Payam, it doesn't matter where I am. Where was I recently? Koh Lipe. I was in Koh Lipe, man. I mean, there were times I didn't spend 1,000 baht in a day. And I had a great time, I mean, I'm fantastic. Jim, how you doing? Yes, I'm well. I am well. It cost me a small fortune to live the life I live here if I was back in the States. No, Scott, Southern Indiana. Someone else is in Montana. Sorry about that. I thought it was you. I don't know why. Dementia. No, I'm not getting dementia. All from Alpharetta. Yes, I am doing well and I'm ready. We are leaving in about 5 days, going to Suratani. And I don't know, I may tell my wife, let's go check out whatever place we were talking about, which I'm not going to state right now because if I do move, I don't know that I want to tell anybody where I'm moving to. To be honest, I really don't know. I don't think anybody really needs to know where it is other than I'm in this place, it's isolated. That's all you need to know. I like this place. I mean, it's not very busy right now, but I think, you know, they got some good little snacks here. And the coffee's, well, this was not hot, but I kind of let it. It was my fault. So Thailand gives you a good value, and it's not some kind of a miracle or, oh my God, it's some guy the other day was saying that Thailand is this fairy tale. Ooh, that's pushing it to me. That's kind of pushing it. It's a wonderful place. I don't know, honestly. I know there are other places I could live and I could be happy. I know that for sure. I can be happy wherever I am, pretty much, as long as it's not a total shithole and I don't want to be there. But I could be happy just about anywhere. But here I have a lot of different options and different places to go if I want to go there. And that's the thing. If you want to change your life a little bit, well, like I want to change my life from here. I don't want to just stay in Bangkok. Well, hey, we got the place in Suratani. That's a farm. It's a working farm now. I mean, it's really starting to grow, and I'm looking forward to live streaming from there and shooting some video and you know, I mean, whatever. I don't know how good they'll be, but I like doing that. And then there's the beach. We got the beach. It's not that close by. It's an hour and a half, 2 hours away for us to get to the beach. But we could go somewhere, take a trip and take like a day or two or three and go check it out, scope it out and see, hey, can we get a house here for this much money? Because that's what I want, is a house. I'd rather get a house for say 10,000 baht, 10,000 baht. You can get a place in some of these areas for 10,000 baht. You can rent it out pretty easily, then live in an apartment. I don't want to live in an apartment if I can help it. What, you're worried about stalkers? Well, sort of, yes. What are we all? The bottles back there? I find having options is nice, but both people don't use them. We're creatures of habit. You're looking forward to your rubber plantation lady friend. Not really. I don't even remember her, to be honest. I just remember she was wrapped up in a sarong and then she saw me in her car, and that's all I remember. I don't remember anything else. And I don't even know if I'm going to bring my drone this time. I don't know. You know, I could go down there with a pair of shorts on, a change of shorts in a little bag, a shirt on, 2 shirts in my bag, flip-flops, and I'd probably bring my still camera, and I'll bring my action cam, which is only about that big. Maybe my gimbal, and that's it. That's the whole bag. I could put it in like in a what do you call it? In a laptop bag. I got a big kind of laptop bag, but it's not a laptop bag. It's made of like the same material that they make duffel bags out of. And it's great. And I think that's probably what I'm going to bring. That's it. Just throw it over my shoulder. Just a shoulder bag. Just throw it over my shoulder. That's everything I have. that I need there. I don't need anything else. What else do I need? You know, I can buy a razor there. I got little shaving cream I can bring there and leave there, you know. Oh, there's so many places if you want to spend that kind of money. Really, you can get, I mean, numerous places. I mean, do you want to live on an island? I don't want to live on an island because islands are more expensive. So you want to live on the coast? Where do you want to live? You want to live Krabi? You got a nice view. The water is decent. I mean, you could live in Khao. You could live pretty much wherever you want if you want to spend that just on a place to live. I don't want to spend that much because we got expenses here. So I don't want a bunch of expenses there. I want very little. You know, I want like a 500 baht electric bill and, you know, like a 100 baht water bill. You know, I just put a couple thousand baht down and everything's paid for a couple of months, and then you don't have to worry about it. So that's kind of what I want. We'll see. Now, this place has been open for a month. It's been open for a month. That's it. And I don't know what was here before. Oh, the Wi-Fi is right next to me. I didn't even know that. You're going to need solar to get that 500 baht electric bill. I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I wouldn't be there all the time, you know. And, you know, I don't have to have a big refrigerator. We got 2 refrigerators now. And I'm sure that takes up a lot of the energy. That, the computers, the refrigerator, the aircon, the computers, all that, it adds up. But down there, I don't even know that I would have an air conditioner or anything like that. And just get a fan and that's fine. Listen, if I wanted to live in Khanom, I could live in Khanom. I could probably live there for 10,000 baht a month for a place to live. And it'd be a 1-bedroom. So, it's possible. Everything's possible. You just have to believe and go out and get it. Well, there's a reason why. I mean, if the beach is there, then I'll just go jump in the water, man. Come on. Listen, we turn the air on at night. It gets cold. Then I turn the air off. And then later in the morning, it starts getting hot. And then I turn it back on. And, you know, things work. It works for us. Listen, do me a favor while you can. Click the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe. Look down in the description. Everything's down there in the description. Everything. Thank you for the support, Longhorns, Jim Urardi, Carnivore Chronicles, Botman, Carlos Colucci. Hope you're doing well, Carlos. Fire Dude, Narve, Charles Akana. Charles, I hope you enjoyed the car show. But I've been out of town and unfortunately did not get to go. And I did see something about it on this street somewhere. Tom O'Connell, Mr. Mitch, Andy Travels, TKO Sam, Stephen K, John from Suwon, Tim Mays, Mindy Corcoran, Lee, Tony 7682, Henry McIver, A Hero's Journey, Tim Gamba Corta, Eli Barr 4148, Bud Yeti, Patricia, Vice, Ray, Andrew Miller, thank you, Andrew, Arthur Pilibosian, Mike M. Dimitri, Elaine, Leon 1078, Jizz Whistle by Brain Dagger Films, and then, of course, we have LCTR, or is it, let me see something here. LCTR fan, yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have you heard of a bridge between Khanom and Koh Samui in the next 5 years? I don't know. They were talking about a bridge somewhere. I don't know if that's where it was from. But I don't particularly. I mean, I went in Canome. I went looking for the pink dolphin. I went out on a boat, um, and I didn't really like the water and the water around Donsac. I didn't really like it. I think right now that's just an idea. I don't think they've come up with anything. I do remember vaguely them people talking about that, but I don't remember anybody saying yes, it's going forward. We're gonna do it. All right, Bitmonger, you have a good one. I don't really remember anybody saying anything about that. Um, so, and I don't, like I said, I like the beaches they were good. They weren't great. It wasn't like, oh my God, these beaches, the sand is so powdery. It's so beautiful here. And no, they were nice. They were. Um, Calipe also was very, very nice. The water is wonderful there. Calcut is nice. Um, but I didn't like the water, Canome. It was kind of, I would just say it's murky. That's what I'll say. It's not the best. Like if you go to the Florida Keys and you go to certain areas like John Pennycamp Park, man, the water is so clear. You're sitting in the boat, you look down, you can see all the rocks down on the bottom, you can see the fish swimming around, you can see everything. It's crystal clear. Uh, those places are not all that prevalent in Thailand, but you have to look. Kalipe, Kokut, um, Khao Lak a little bit, and areas around Phuket, yeah, okay. The Andaman Sea tends to be a little bit better. Bahamas, yeah. I mean, I went to the Bahamas when I was younger, and I went to the Cayman Islands, 7 Mile Beach. Oh my God, fantastic. But they all run together now. I mean, honestly, there isn't one. Now, I'll tell you what, as far as waterfalls go, that waterfall that I went to a couple of months ago in Umpan, Tilasu, that place, I've never seen a waterfall. I know there are better waterfalls, but I've never seen a waterfall in Thailand better than that waterfall. I've been to Niagara Falls. I haven't been to Murchison Falls, but I would like to go there. But that was the best waterfall I've ever seen in my life here in Thailand, and it was fantastic. But as far as the beaches go, there are some great beaches. I mean, there's so many good beaches. Yeah, the Philippines has great beaches. Yeah, it's fantastic, that waterfall. But let me tell you, if you don't want to walk for a long period of time, then take a vehicle. Get somebody to drive you there. It'll take you like 20 minutes. If you walk, it'll take you like 4 hours. And it's a 4 or 5 hours. It took me about 5 hours. It was pretty rough. So anyway, God, the sun's starting to come through now. Thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate it. I don't even know where we are. I can't even see. 1:15. Okay. So there's only one other guy here. I've seen another guy come in, and then I've seen a guy and his girl come in, and I haven't seen any Grab drivers. So this place is new, and they've still got the grand opening little wavy air things up in the front to say, come on in. And they got a little parking lot here, which is nice. It's a good setup. I mean, I'm gonna frequent this place. I can jump on I like this place. Anywhere that has the best beaches also has typhoons or hurricanes. Yeah, that's a problem. I love the Florida Keys. They got some great beaches, some great water, great diving. But man, I wouldn't want to live there. And yeah, that's I don't know. You got to think about things. That's the thing. Once you get a little bit older, you start realizing, oh well, I got to think about what if I need to go to the hospital. There's not a hospital. It's going to take 3 hours to get to the hospital. They only got a clinic down the street, and all they can do is throw in some sutures, and that's it. T-Law Su. It's in Umpang, Umphang, and I got some videos up on it. It's pretty nice, man. Nice place. And I was alone. There was nobody there, nobody in the woods, nobody. I was completely alone. It was fantastic. I love that. And I was going to go to another place. I got sick, and then I've just been off because of it. And now it's too damn hot to go there. Yeah, I was there just not long ago. So great place. I mean, I love that place. I would go there again. I just don't have, the challenge is not there. What am I going to do? I'm going to go hike back to the waterfall. I've already done that, so yeah, it's getting expensive everywhere, but fortunately here it's cheaper than there. And that is the whole gist of this live stream. So I hope you enjoyed it. I got to go. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Get a book. There's a book down below. What's it called? I don't even remember what it's called now. The Expat Survival Guide. Living Smart in Thailand. Yeah. So anyway. And if you need a consultation, email me. An American in Bangkok at Gmail. Or you just want to say hello, whatever it is. That's the email. So until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American here in... What's the name of this place? Hunter's Coffee Specialty Club. Hunter's Coffee Specialty Club. It's not even on Bolt. You can't even find it on Bolt. So that's how new it is. It's only a month old. So anyway, great place. I don't know you drive in from, say, Lower Sukhumvit or around Central World. I don't know you drive all the way over here just to come here and have a coffee. But if you're anywhere near here, this is a good place to come and have a sit down, have a coffee, maybe have a meeting. So anyway, that's all I got. So I will talk to you all later. This is only about 10 minutes from my house. I can go back right now. In fact, I'm just going to go right over here. I'm going to take the stairs, I guess, and I'll walk up the stairs, walk over there, jump on the SkyTrain, get off at the mall, go get my 2 things from the grocery, go home, and that's the end of my day for today. It's Sunday, so I'm going to enjoy it. Anyway, I got to go. I'll talk to you all later. Chok di lel jakat mai. That is good luck, and see you again.